Welcome to Ghouls Night Out with your hostesses, Brandy and Jody. Welcome, beautiful ghouls. This is Brandy. I am here with my sister, Jody.
Hello.
So, last week sucked donkey dick.
Yes, it did.
I'm
so sorry.
That was a good
episode, too.
It was.
We're really sorry.
Let's not talk about it because, oh my gosh, you guys, my heart sank when I opened my computer and the episode was just gone. We had recorded it and it just didn't turn out the way it was supposed to, but that's okay.
We'll move on.
Yes, we'll move on, and we're going to be a little bit more responsible going forward and save them immediately so this doesn't happen. So one thing that I brought up last episode, we did get another listener email.
Yay!
It is from Annie.
Thank you, Annie.
Again, Annie, yes. She wrote us in our very first story. Was from Annie, and she wrote us about a little thing that happened to her. Let me pull it up here. It's called Weird Phone Experience. So it says, "Hi ladies, I love the podcast and listen every week at work. Thank you. I know it's been a while since you talked about how Alexa is always listening, but I wanted to share my recent similar strange experience with my phone. My husband and I were out on date night at a local bar, and my phone was sitting on the bar between us. I had recently found out that a friend from childhood was in prison with multiple felonies. I was very upset about how incredibly stupid she had been, and was talking to my husband about how I couldn't understand what had happened. I made a comment that she would be 51 when she gets out of prison, and who would hire a 51-year-old felon? The next day, the first thing that popped up on my news feed was a list of companies that hire felons." Annie. So, oh my gosh, that's freaky.
I'm telling you, the technology is listening.
It is. And that is creepy. So, yeah, thanks a lot, Annie. That's a pretty good story. I really love it.
That is a great story, and we really, really appreciate you writing in.
Yes, we do.
Nobody else will.
Yes, send us your stories, even if they're short and sweet like that one.
Someone else did send something.
Well, yes, Lisa sent in.
Lisa.
She sent in a suggestion. She wanted to hear more about our family, which we were taught growing up that if we don't have anything nice to say, we weren't supposed to say anything at all.
Yeah.
So we're probably not going to do that. But
we'll tell stories as they come up.
Right.
Whatever,
and really, honestly, I mean,
we're pretty boring.
We're very boring. We did, unfortunately, suicide runs in our family. We had a cousin that committed suicide as well.
Yeah.
And you guys know our grandmother, so that's not cool.
No.
We really were sheltered growing up. Our mother had social anxiety and passed it along to us.
Yes.
So we didn't really know our family, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're not very comfortable with them because we would see them once a year, maybe twice a year?
Yeah, on holidays, special occasions. If someone graduated high school or something, every now and then we would go.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just
every time I would be so uncomfortable.
Absolutely. So yeah, I was too. So yeah, we don't really have. I do have one funny story. Our Aunt Rita is hilarious. She is just adorable, and I do have one story. She has been married. I think she's on her third husband.
Yeah.
First one was a dick.
Yes.
Second one unfortunately passed away.
Yes.
And she found him. He was working on the car in the garage with the car on and the door shut.
Yeah, not very smart.
No, unfortunately, she found him. She did tell a story one time. I remember we were sitting in our grandma's kitchen, and I think it was me and our mom, my grandma, and Aunt Rita, and she went on her very first date with Perry, which is the guy her second husband that passed away. And she said that it was her very first date. Okay, keep this in mind. She said they were at a restaurant, and they were just like hanging out, talking. She said she had her feet up on the chair, so her knees were like against her chest. You know what I mean? and she farted. And she was like, well, Perry.
I could so see her doing that.
Exactly. And this is her first date with this guy. So he was probably like, oh, I'm marrying her.
Yeah, she's a keeper. I'm keeping her.
So yeah, she is hilarious and adorable.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, so I mean, other than like stupid stuff like that, I mean, we really don't. We have a sister that we unfortunately don't talk to anymore.
No.
Not going to go into that.
No.
Yeah, so we talk to our dad every now and then. He's got his own life now, which it's very depressing. So thank you for the suggestion, Lisa. But
hey, we have each other.
Exactly. That's all that matters. And we have all you guys. You're our new fam.
We love you.
Exactly. So, again, thank you so much for the suggestion. And
thank you for writing in.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate that.
Lisa. So, you guys, GhoulsNightOutPodcast@gmail.com. We don't care what it is. Send it in. Okay, so I think we're going to, because we did Oregon last week, which you guys missed. So we might revisit Oregon,
maybe
like at
after
the very end.
We're done with the rest of them.
But we're just gonna move on, and we're doing Washington this week. So I have some facts about Washington.
Washington State, not D.C.
Right,
Because I pulled up Washington, and Washington, D.C. came up.
Oh, yeah. No, we're doing states.
Yes.
So Washington State. The most rain any place in Washington ever got in one day was 14.26 inches at Mount Mitchell in 1986. 14 inches.
That's a lot.
Did you know, I think, I could be wrong, but like they got 14 inches. If that was snow, that would be twice that.
Oh,
so like,
yeah, I guess I could see that.
Yeah. So that's a lot. I mean, if you would think that would be 28 inches of snow.
Yeah.
If it was, so yeah, that's crazy. The highest place in Washington is Mount Rainier, which is 14,410 feet above sea level. Washington is the only state to be named after a president. Which I didn't know that. I didn't know it was actually named after him.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Which I wonder what Washington, D.C. is named after then. I wonder if it's the same thing.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't do history.
Yeah.
Or geography. Or math.
And we don't run.
No, no, we don't.
Okay. Our state flower is the coast rhododendron.
Huh?
Yep. Our state tree is the western hemlock. State bird is the willow goldfinch. The state fish is a steelhead trout. State dance is a square dance.
Gosh. Seriously?
Our state fruit is the apple.
What's Indiana's state dance? Is like the hoedown?
Oh, God, I don't even want to know. We're going to get to Indiana at some point.
Yeah.
I really doubt
I don't think
we have a state dance.
I didn't know any place had a state dance.
I don't think any place should have a state dance.
They should. Ours is going to be the electric slide.
Oh, yeah.
Or what's that newest one? Or it's probably not new anymore. I'm just old.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Whip It or...
What is it?
Whip It?
Whip It.
No. What's that one?
Oh, the Nay-Nay or...
The Nay-Nay, yes.
No, the Fortnite dances. The floss.
The floss.
Yeah.
Yes.
That and like the...
That is so stupid looking. I haven't even seen that one.
Sorry, you guys. I just did a stupid one. Stupid. It's stupid.
Kids are so stupid.
Carlton from...
Oh my gosh.
They do that on Fortnite and he's suing them.
Oh, seriously?
Yes. Oh my God. He's like, that's my stupid dance.
Fortnite? Are you talking about like the video game Fortnite?
Yeah, I think, well, I don't know. But I think they do like celebratory dances when they win or whatever.
Okay.
And one of them's like the Carlton, and one of them they do this stupid thing, and then the other one they do I don't even know what. But yeah, it's
I'll
like
have to ask Peyton about that.
Oh yeah, it's like Everyone knows about it. I think they do the floss thing on that too. I think that's a Fortnite
I saw that on a commercial the other. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That is so stupid looking. Oh.
Yeah.
Of course, I can't say anything. I grew up in the 80s, so. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Oh, they have a state fossil.
What?
The Columbian mammoth. A group of 4th graders from Windsor Elementary in Cheney worked with the state legislature to make this happen.
Oh, okay.
State fossil. State marine mammal is the orca. A group of students from Crescent Harbor Elementary in Oak Harbor worked with the state legislature to make this happen. Our state vegetable is the Walla Walla sweet onion. Our state capital is Olympia. Native Americans who lived here for generations called it the Black Bear Place.
That's pretty literal.
Yeah. Well, they used to name their kids the first thing they saw after they were born.
Oh.
So it was like, tumbling blade of grass. That's my Indian name. Anyway.
Okay.
The Space Needle in Seattle is 605 feet tall. I wonder what that thing is for. Do you know? Like just decoration?
I have no idea.
Like the arch in St. Louis? That's for decoration, right?
I'm assuming because they serve no purpose whatsoever.
Have you ever been in the arch?
I've not been in it. I've seen it.
I've been up in it. And you have to ride this like egg thing to go up in it. And it's like the ricketiest shit ever, and it's scary.
Went on it anyway.
And then when you're up in the very top, the thing sways. It's scary as fuck. Anyway,
no way.
We're not talking about St. Louis yet. I'll revisit that.
Okay.
Washington has 5 major volcanoes as part of the Cascade Range: Mount Baker, Glacier Peak, Mount Rainier, Mount Adams, and Mount St. Helens. Wow. 5 major volcanoes. That's crazy. The Sentinel Trail that goes from Spokane to Coeur-d'Alene is 69 miles long. Despite New York coining the nickname the Big Apple, Washington is a state that proceeds the most apples out of all 50. They also produce most pears, red raspberries, sweet cherries, and spearmint oil. Camouflaged town. During the period of World War II, there was a secret bomber making factory south of Seattle, Washington. To hide the factory, Boeing camouflaged it by entirely covering it with a fake neighborhood created by a Hollywood set designer.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool. The fake neighborhood included fake houses, trees, and artificial sidewalks. The intention was to hide the presence of an airplane production facility down below from other potential bombers.
That's really
very interesting. Yeah. Wild horses are beautiful animals often found on the west side of the United States. Though they are depicted running freely in deserts or farm-like areas, they are most found often in Indian reservations. If you're
that would be so weird.
Well, to see just a horse?
Just a horse just running around.
I know, because that's not a thing.
No.
Yeah.
Not here, anyway.
I think that would be totally weird. Yeah, if you're looking for wild horses in Washington, you'll find up to 12,000 of them roaming the Yakima Indian Reservation. Washington is the most glaciated state in America with more than 3,000 glaciers. You'll find the most amount of bald eagles out of anywhere in the United States in Washington. There was a confrontation between the British Empire and the United States over country boundaries. It was then that we almost went to war over a pig. The confrontation was over the San Juan Islands. The dispute began when a pig who was trespassing and eating potato crops was shot. Thus began the pig war.
Did the dollop do?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
they did.
I knew I've heard that. How would I hear about a pig?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Definitely the dollop. If you guys don't listen to the dollop, they are hilarious, and they do. It's a history podcast, but they do the dumbest stories that happened.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
We have some really stupid people in our history.
It's amazing.
It's unbelievable.
It's actually quite scary.
It's really funny, though.
It is. It's great. Okay, so those were my facts for Washington State this week.
Okay, this week I did ghost stories of Washington State.
Yay!
First one is Campbell House in Spokane, Washington. Campbell House is one of Washington's most well-known historical landmarks. It was designed and built by Kirkland K. Cutter in 1898 and was first owned by Amasa Basiliel Campbell.
Okay.
I don't know if I said that right. There's a very sad history attached to the house. In the early 1900s, 3 of the Campbell children were murdered by a burglar who also kidnapped the 4th child.
Oh, no.
The child was never returned. With such a tragic past, it is hardly surprising that the Campbell House is one of the most haunted houses in the state of Washington. Visitors describe feeling a very unsettling feeling on entering the house and are often overcome with dread. There is a portrait of Amasa Basiliel Campbell in the house that is said to follow visitors with its eyes as they wander the house, perhaps looking to see if the kidnapper ever returns.
Ew, that's creepy.
Why can't people have regular names?
I know, right?
You ever hear a story of a Jody or Brandy?
I know. You don't know. The only time I haven't seen every movie there ever was, but the only time Brandy was even a name in a movie was freaking Joe Dirt.
Well, the only time I've ever heard my name is on Supernatural.
Oh.
And one of the characters is named Jodie.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, you got Jodie Foster. She's a famous actress.
Yeah.
I mean, I have Brandy, the singer.
Yeah.
But that was, in the 90s that she was popular?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, it's just, and it seems to me like it's a pretty common name. I didn't think my name was unusual.
Well, mine is. You don't hear... The place where I work now is the first place that I have ever worked where someone has the same name as me.
Really?
And they work in the department next to me. Uh-huh. And people are always getting us confused. Always.
That's funny.
They're like, I talked to you. I'm like, no, you didn't. So finally we know, you're talking about the other Jody.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
I've never had anyone that had my name.
Does she spell it like you?
No.
Oh.
Hers is with a Y.
That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't think, I think Jody's probably a less common name than Brandy, but
yeah.
I never encounter Brandy's, ever.
Yeah. I don't think I do. I don't either.
It's weird.
All right. Next one is Black Diamond Cemetery. The very fact that Black Diamond Cemetery is a burial ground makes it a little creepy, but when you add the fact that it is actually one of the most haunted locations in Washington, it really kicks the spook factor up a few notches. It has been said that visitors have heard whistling and voices when nobody else is around. There have also been reports of the swinging lanterns of dead coal miners seen on foggy nights.
It's crazy, and I know we've talked about it before, but I guess other than people not wanting to let their physical body go, why would they haunt a cemetery?
Yeah, you think you would want to go where you are the most comfortable or the most happy or...
Right, and, what's the point?
Unless you don't remember where you're supposed to be. Yeah. But that doesn't seem right either because, someone's house... could be haunted by someone that used to live there. Right.
And objects are supposed to hold that person's energy. And, if they're maybe, I don't know, it's just weird. Because, it's not like people go to cemeteries to chill.
I almost think it's just people that want to see something. And so that anything that happens in a cemetery,
maybe
it's a ghost.
Yeah.
But yet again, you've seen or heard, shows or whatever where there is something there.
Right.
So,
well, and there was a episode of Fact or Faked that they were in a cemetery in Fishers, just right down the street from us. And
I know I've seen every single one of them episodes. I do not remember that.
You don't?
No.
It was the ghost train. It's on the intro credits. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's on the clip of they show the clips of the scary thing first. It's these people walking through a cemetery, and it happens to be, right down the street from where we are. And you see, it looks like a train passes by these people that are holding this camera, and it's clear as shit, and they chose that to investigate on one of the episodes.
Wonder if that's where we should go next Halloween.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Like, just do it on our own.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a good idea.
Because there's nothing. I know there's some cemeteries that lock up at night.
Yeah, I think most of them do.
I don't know. I wonder if that one does.
I don't know. Because I know we went through a cemetery on that ghost walk that we went through, but I'm sure they had permission to enter the cemetery. But those gates were open.
Did it have gates?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, if they had permission, then they probably left them open.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Maybe we'll look into it.
We'll have to look into that, because that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
All right, University Heights, Seattle. University Heights in Seattle was at one time a school, but it has since been converted into a community center. It is also considered to be one of the most haunted buildings in Washington, thanks to the spirit of a little boy who is haunting the building.
Aww.
The youngster is believed to have been a student at University Heights when it was still operating as a school, and it seems like he has never left. He is often seen and heard playing in the halls. However, he certainly does not seem to be alone in the building, since many visitors, staff, and paranormal investigators have all said that they have heard what sounds like a small group of children laughing and playing in the building. At least the little boy doesn't seem to be lonely.
That's creepy.
Yes,
and
it is.
I want to know how much of this stuff is residual and not
actual hauntings.
Yeah. Because that sounds more to me like it would be residual.
Yeah. Tacoma Old City Hall in Tacoma. Tacoma Old City Hall has been at the center of various reports of hauntings since the mid-70s. According to local town records, the police were called to the old building on a number of occasions starting in 1974 to investigate a variety of different disturbances, including lights going on and off, noises coming from inside, fire alarms sounding, and even the intruder alarms being triggered. Those reporting the disturbances believe that someone was breaking in, but on each occasion the police could find no evidence that anyone had even been inside. There were no signs of forced entry, nothing had been disturbed, and there was no logical explanation for the disturbances.
Holy shit.
Have you seen that commercial? I don't remember what the commercial is for, but it was for one of those where you could control your lights in your house from your phone. And somehow a little kid gets a hold of the dad's phone and is just pushing buttons, and this old guy's walking his dog in front of the house.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
He's like, something's happening at the baker's again. Shit. Yeah, because they're all going on at the same time and off at the same time. He's like, holy shit. That would be me. I'd be like, it's definitely a ghost.
That commercial's great. Fort Vancouver National Historic Site in Vancouver. Fort Vancouver dates back to the 19th century, but before that it served as a fur trading outpost. It stands on the Columbia River and is located partly in Washington and partly in Oregon. Like so many other old and ruined buildings, Vancouver has its fair share of secrets hidden within its walls. One of the most active buildings is said to be the Grant House Art Center, which sits among the houses in Officers Row. Some of the strange phenomena that has been reported there includes phones ringing when they are completely unplugged, and doors opening or closing by themselves. There's one particular ghost whose staff have nicknamed Sully that likes to sit in the cafe drinking coffee.
How do they know he likes to sit in the cafe drinking coffee?
I have no idea.
I wonder if they smell coffee or something.
Or they made it up. I don't know.
Yeah, you guess so.
I don't know. Do they put just a random cup of coffee and it's like they turn around and then turn back and it's gone?
Oh, no.
Someone drank it.
That would be weird. That ghost would have a burnt mouth.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mount Baker Theater in Bellingham. Mount Baker Theater opened in Bellingham in 1927 and has ever since its first opened its doors, the building seems to have been plagued by ghosts. Just some of the reports that have been recorded here include unexplained noises, cold spots, strange disembodied voices, balls of light, and even the odd apparition. There is a resident ghost of a young woman named Judy, and for years the theater have had reports of her developing crushes on male projectionists and ushers at the theater. When she picks a crush, they'll hear their names called across the stage, or they'll feel ghostly touches on their backs and shoulders. And she's just one of 4 ghosts that paranormal investigators have discovered there. With all the strange paranormal activity going on, it's not difficult to see why Mount Baker Theater is considered to be one of the most haunted places in Washington state.
Ooh, flirty ghost.
Yeah, but calling your name? Oh,
That's
I don't
creepy.
like that.
That is creepy.
At all. Oxford Saloon in Snohomish? Anyway. The Oxford Saloon in Snohomish is considered to be one of the top haunted places in Washington state. It has been investigated by a number of different paranormal investigators, and many of them have picked up some very clear examples of electronic voice phenomena. The saloon was built in 1900, but has been modified considerably over the years. It has seen more than its fair share of violence over the years, especially down in the basement and in the men's card room. One of the most documented murders here is the death of a policeman named Henry, who was a regular at the saloon and who may have even worked as a bouncer on his days off. He is believed to be one of the many spirits haunting the Oxford Saloon today. He most often appears on the basement stairs, but is also known to pinch women in the ladies' restroom.
Oh.
On the upper floors, there are said to be 3 more ghosts, a man in a bowler hat, and 2 female spirits. One of these ladies is a madam known as Kathleen, and she is described as an older woman dressed in purple with matching purple bows. The other lady is a girl named Amelia, who was forced into prostitution by Kathleen and who was found dead in a closet on the property.
Oh, shit. That sucks. Man, I don't know what it is about bathrooms, but if I was taking a pee and someone pinched me and I didn't see who pinched me, it'd scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'd be throwing punches and there wouldn't be nobody there.
I know, but like in the bathroom, seriously? Why the bathroom?
Next one is Kell's Irish Pub in Seattle. Once known as the Butterworth Building, this former mortuary is now a very popular bar called Kell's Irish Pub. It is not only one of the most haunted locations in Washington state, but is considered to be the most haunted pub in North America, and has even been the focus of a couple of different paranormal television shows.
No! Ew! Jody's cat just farted on me. Ew.
Odin, where are your manners?
He's like, it's just Brandy. Who gives a shit? She's here every week.
A large number of bodies have passed through the mortuary thanks to disease epidemics, mining accidents, and violent crime, and that has certainly left its mark on the property. Just some of the unexplained activity that has been documented here includes mirrors spontaneously shattering for no apparent reason.
What?
Plaster falling from the walls, glasses being swiped off surfaces by unseen hands, and disembodied voices. The owner also claims to have seen an apparition sitting at the end of the bar, which he described as a mixed-race man with very thin hands and wearing a suit jacket. Interestingly, some of the bodies that passed through the mortuary here would have been the victims of our next haunted location, Starvation Heights Sanitarium.
Ooh. Why would you name that?
I don't know.
That's horrible.
Could you imagine someone said, we're going to put you in Starvation Heights Sanitarium? I'd be like, no, thank you.
I'd be like, I like food.
I'd be like,
what
why
the
don't you
hell?
send me to Obese Hills Sanitarium?
How about Junk Food Island? I want to live there.
Okay. Starvation Heights Sanitarium in Olala.
Oh la la.
Olala.
Ooh. Ooh la la.
I want to live there. Olala. Where do you live? Olala. Starvation Heights Sanitarium was operated by Dr. Linda Hazard and her husband Sam. but the doctor was using a very strange treatment method to treat her patients: starvation. Needless to say, this was not an effective treatment, and a large number of her patients died.
I think I've heard this before.
These bodies were incinerated within the sanitarium to cover up the mistreatment, while Dr. Hazard maintained her public image as a strong female leader.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, she ate whatever the fuck she wanted.
She was probably all fat.
She probably was. Oh my God.
People are
Biatch!
disgusting.
I know.
Anyway. Odin, I'm going to beat you.
Not really.
Oh, really? Aw.
She just kidding.
Stop being a butt. Okay. However, behind the scenes, she was evil and greedy. Today, the foundation of the building and the incinerator are all that really remains. Well, apart from the spirits of former patients that are said to be roaming the ruins.
Holy shit. You think they're all skinny and creepy looking, like skeletons?
Probably. Northern State Mental Hospital, Cedro Woolley. At one time, as many as 2,000 patients lived in the Northern State Mental Hospital. A large percentage of those patients would also have died in the building due to a variety of different causes. Some would have passed from natural causes, but far more died as a direct result of strenuous physical labor, electroshock therapy treatments gone too far, botched lobotomies, complications during forced sterilization, and some were just straight out murdered. It is no great surprise that with so much death and despair linked to the property, it has become one of the most haunted places in the state.
Oh, shit.
There have been various reports of paranormal activity, including one of the most common sightings, an apparition of a nurse pushing a male patient in a wheelchair. Other common reports include shadow figures, disembodied screams, and cold spots.
Ooh, so the nurse and the person in the wheelchair are both ghosts?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's weird.
Yeah.
That sounds residual.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
And then I just added a couple of hotels in case anyone wanted to go on vacation.
Okay.
So this one is Manresa Castle in Port Townsend, Washington. The century-old Manresa Castle in Washington was designed to resemble a medieval castle. Completed in 1892, it was used as a vacation home and a training college. The castle is known for its excellent customer service and is also popular for its ghostly residents.
Ooh. Nice people and ghosts. I'm there.
Yeah. And then my last one is Thornwood Castle in Lakewood, Washington. Styled after the grandeur of English estates, the 3-story Thornwood Castle looks like an English Gothic Tudor mansion, one of the few genuine castles in the United States. Thornwood Castle is also the eternal home of Anna, Chester Thorne's wife.
Cool.
That's all I got on those.
All right. I did people describe like the creepiest person they've ever met.
Ooh.
Like creepy stranger encounters.
That's cool.
So, my first one, on my birthday, my friend took me to a local comic book store to buy me the first few issues of Scott Pilgrim. He had read them and thought I might enjoy them too. We walked down the dingy concrete staircase into a musty, messy dungeon that was the store, and we were greeted by a tall, thin, wispy man with long gray hair. That sounds like the freaking butler in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, it does.
Creepy. He stood behind a table covered in random comic books. My friend introduces me to the man and proceeds to tell him it's my birthday. He gets a look of excitement on his face and runs over to the computer behind the cash register and puts on a birthday song from a children's show called Bananas in Pajamas. He sings along to the song while staring into my eyes unblinkingly. He waited until the song was finished and then let us pay for the books and gave me the free comic-related magazine from quite a while ago. It was a big thing about the Watchmen movie in it. So that was a long time ago.
a long time ago.
We left and my friend apologized for Todd. I'll never forget that cold stare. Could you imagine someone staring at you? Even if they were just singing happy birthday, be like, happy birthday.
No.
That's creepy. Especially someone you don't know.
Oh.
And that looked like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one, my friends and I were on a subway and a homeless man came and sat across from us. He had a bottle of vodka and a cup full of change. He looked at my blonde friend and said, "You have pretty hair. You must be a Viking." He then put the cup of change to his lips, tilted it back, coughed, choked a little, and said, "What goes in must come out."
What? That's stupid. He's obviously
Mental.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next one. When I rode the bus to school a few years ago, some annoying boy sat in my seat. I asked him to move, and he seemed pretty pissed. His friend on the seat in front of mine was about 6'4", wears black coats, and this is a muscular black guy with super long fingernails.
Ew.
He turns around, frowns at me, and goes, "People who don't share get murdered."
Oh, wow.
Ever since that day, I've shared everything. That's creepy. I don't know what would you do? Because you're in that situation and someone is weird.
Yeah.
And they're engaging with you. Like, what the fuck do you do? This is why I stay home.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Next one. Definitely this ratty little meatloaf fanboy at my last college. It was such a small college, about 1,000 people, that most people were Facebook friends or were only separated by 1 degree. He would lurk on Facebook for any girl who recently broke up with her boyfriend, and he would be at her room in under 30 minutes. One of my friends staged a fake breakup and actually timed him with a stopwatch.
Oh my gosh.
He glommed onto me after we met at a frat party. Unbelievably, he was in a frat, and I was dating one of his brothers, who revealed to Fanboy that I too liked meatloaf. So he would follow me around telling me obscure trivia facts and asking me if I wanted to watch Meatloaf DVDs with him. I eventually broke up with his frat brother and became really reclusive for a whole school year. Being a ninja was the only way to avoid him. Gosh. Why do people have to be so weird? Next one, I went to college with a guy named Josh. He was a total creep, complete lack of social skills, understanding of personal boundaries, and personal hygiene. He made enough creepy passes at girls in my year that he earned the nickname Josh the Leech. Eventually, I got friendly with some people from a different year. One day, some of them were telling a story about this sketchy guy following a girl home despite her obvious disinterest. Josh the Leech, I guessed. Molester Josh was the reply. Ew.
Yeah.
Gosh, unfortunately, some guys just give off that creepy,
They do.
like, rapey vibe.
Yes.
I feel, if it's not their fault, I feel sorry for them, because I think I used to know a guy in high school, and I'm friends with him on Facebook now. This guy is the sweetest. He's just adorable, and he, maybe a little socially awkward. Mm-hmm. But, he's married, got like 3 kids, totally normal dude. But a lot of his posts on Facebook indicate that people find him creepy. Because he's like, when is the line from being nice to creepy? He's like, what is happening? Like, all the time.
Yeah.
So I feel really bad for him because I know him, or I used to know him. And he was just so sweet, and, I don't know. Anyway, a man I work with, he follows me around, goes in the break room while I'm taking my lunch break, and just stares at me. He brings a child that is in no way related to him to work. He foams at the mouth and drools. He has 1 black tooth, and I'm not making any of this up.
Oh my gosh.
Who's the kid?
Yeah.
Why
would you bring him to work?
Where's its mother? I'm worried about this child.
What the hell?
Oh my God. Why are there no questions being asked? Okay, next one. So this guy on a site contacts me, and we get to talking. I mentioned that I had a dentist appointment earlier that day, and he got really interested. Creepy interested. He wanted me to take a picture of my teeth. He said he wanted to see what fillings looked like. I humored him, and then he started asking me for more pictures at specific angles.
Ew.
I pretty much stopped responding at this point, but for a good year and a half after, this guy would send me a message every few weeks asking how come I didn't talk to him anymore. And mind you, we only had 1 conversation. My friends refer to him as the creepy teeth stalker. What the fuck?
Some people just have their own things.
I guess so.
I don't understand it, but
I know. And it comes to my point that I always make, like, you can find anything you want on the internet these days.
Yeah.
What the fuck is your problem?
Yeah.
Just like this guy, I guess, at this local bar that my husband goes to, they're trying to get this guy kicked out because he's a total creep, and he's grabbed girls in there before. And he said that, I guess one day he was sitting at the bar, and the bartender's a girl, and she was bending over getting something, and he was like snapping pictures.
No.
I know. And I was like, what the fuck? You can go on the internet and see whatever you want. Why degrade?
I think it's the thrill. It's the thrill of doing it when no one knows you're doing it, or, you know.
Just gross. Just no.
Yeah.
Anyway, next one. I was thinking about this earlier, and my answer would have to be my roommate's ex. She moved into my house after breaking up with him. For months after that, he tried to stop by unannounced, evidently functioning under the delusion that they were still dating. She tried to remain civil with him at first, but he slowly went off the deep end. I think the breaking point was when he left a full-length mirror adorned with bizarre post-it notes on the deck when no one was home. I recall one saying that she was his little chicken bacon ranch pizza.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever dated anyone like that?
No.
That you point blank tell them, okay, it's over, and they refuse to.
One time I did date this guy for like a few months, and I told him I didn't want to, I just wanted to be friends with him. Well, I don't remember what happened, but for some reason he pissed me off. So I called him and I was like, okay, I don't ever want to see you again. And he came to my work. And at the time, one of my coworkers, which is actually the girl who introduced me to my husband now, she worked with me at the time. It's Aaron's cousin. And she was like, go downstairs. Because I saw him, because I was in drive-thru, because I worked at the bank at the time.
Yeah.
And I was in drive-thru, and I saw him, like, tearing through the parking lot. I was like, oh, my God, what the fuck? And she was like, go downstairs, because our break room was downstairs where I worked. And she told me when he was gone, I guess he just, like, stormed in and looked around and then left. Oh. I was like, okay.
This is this guy I went out with. We probably went out for, I don't know, a few weeks or something.
Yeah.
I was just, like, not into him at all.
Yeah.
So I broke up with him. It took a month to get rid of him. And you know me. Mm-hmm. I tell you point blank what.
Yeah, I mean, there was no question about what.
I don't pussyfoot around.
Right.
What I mean. I tell you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you mean it.
And I mean it. It took me a month to get rid of him, and I had to be a total bitch.
Like, were you just like, okay, so I don't want to see you anymore, and he'd be like, okay, so what do you want to do?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Seriously.
No!
And I'm like looking around like, what the fuck? What the fuck? He would keep calling me and asking me, what are we doing tonight?
Oh my God!
Nothing. Go the fuck away.
Oh my God!
I was just like, seriously. I mean, I really had to be I was so mean to him.
And that's not you. Like, you don't want to do that.
No, I'm
that's
not a mean person.
Right.
I can be if you make me.
Yeah.
But that's not how I am naturally.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
People are fucked up.
They are.
And I know we've said it before. Every single person in this entire world, their mind works differently than the person next to them.
Yeah.
And that is scary because you don't know what people are thinking. You can't even comprehend people's train of thought because that's not what you know?
Yes.
That is creepy. My worst one was he came to my work and like looked around for a second and then left.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing like that. I wouldn't know what to do if
well, like I said, I was just mean.
That sucks.
I wouldn't talk to him. I wouldn't, and he just kept coming around, and it's like, dude, go away. I don't like you.
Shit. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay, so next one. Roughly 2 a.m. on the 5 train in Brooklyn, the subway car was completely empty except for me and a completely naked, rail-thin, bearded ginger guy with 5 enormous garbage bags full of stuffed animals. I didn't wait around long enough to meet him. What the fuck? Why was he naked?
I don't know.
Why 5 enormous garbage bags full of stuffed animals?
Once again, another mental issue.
Absolutely. That seems to me like he was taking the stuffed animals somewhere to dump them and roll around in them naked.
Yeah, that's.
That would be my guess.
I'm sure he was doing other things with them too. Not just rolling around.
Okay, next one. I was driving with my girlfriend to, I don't even know what that says. They were driving somewhere.
Okay.
They spotted a truck broken down under the 202 and 101 interchange, and there was a guy walking about 100 meters beyond the truck with a gas can. So I asked if we could do a good deed and give him a ride to the gas station. He asked his girlfriend this. She said yes, so I pulled over and backed up on the shoulder and asked if he needed a ride. The rest of the story takes place over about 4 minutes. He gets into the back seat of the car and we take off. He says he is having a really bad day. My girlfriend says, well, it could be worse, at least you have a ride to the gas station. He replies that she doesn't know the half of it. Earlier that day, he found out his girlfriend had been murdered. Then he started to talk about being laid off, and he was just trying to get to Denver because he had a job opportunity there. My girlfriend exclaimed, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about your girlfriend. What happened? He said the police really didn't tell him much because he was a suspect. At this point, I grabbed my phone in the door pocket and held it in my left hand. It got very quiet in the car, and we exited the freeway about 2 miles from where we picked him up. I drove a block to the nearest gas station and let him out. He immediately started looking around for other people at the gas station. The only thing I could think of was that he was looking for people to ask for money for gas. As soon as the door closed, I sped off. It was super creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is he going looking for a job when his girlfriend was just murdered?
And he was a suspect.
He obviously did it.
Oh my God, they had a murderer in their car.
That's why you do not pick up strangers.
No. Never. Oh my God. And you don't get into people's cars.
You offer maybe to call a tow truck or some shit.
Sure.
That's it.
Through a very cracked window of a locked car.
With your car in drive.
Yeah, just don't stop.
Yeah, just keep going. Just keep going.
They will make.
Oh, poor bastard.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
He can get your big boy pants on and take care of it your damn self.
It's so sad that it has to be that way.
It is, but it has to be that way because people murder their girlfriends. And then they run out of gas. Oh my God. Okay. Next one. 2 stories. One creepy to me and one creepy to other people. The first one happened at my old high school. I was walking down the hall when my principal just randomly reaches out and touches my stomach.
What?
Really, really low on my stomach.
What?
Like he had been reaching for my junk and missed. This is the same guy who accidentally grabbed one of my friend's tits. Oh my God, fire this fucking principal. Are you serious?
There should be no touching at all.
No. Oh my God.
None.
Yes, tell your mother. That is horrible. No. And if he grabbed one of... No.
No way.
Second story happened at a Red Wings versus Predators game a couple of weeks ago. The game was almost over when a super creepy guy, bald, glasses, pedo stash, sits in front of us and just starts leering at this little girl a couple rows over. I mean, literally never stops looking at her for like 10 minutes, just staring her down. Creepiest fucking thing I've ever seen. Oh, dude, no.
I probably would have smacked him upside his head.
I would have been like, excuse me, what are you looking at? Or I would be like, excuse me, people, this creep is staring at your daughter.
Yeah.
I would get her out of here.
Yeah.
That gives me that, because I have a little girl, and no, that pisses me off.
There is no reason for any man to be staring at a little girl.
No.
Not like that.
No, unless it's like your daughter and you're looking at her, that's fine. But no, strangers, no. No. Ugh, okay. Next one, when I was about 9 or 10, I was at a friend's house for a sleepover birthday party. There was a guy there that was friends with her mom. He was probably about 40 and pretty rough looking. He kept singling me out and talking to me, asking where I lived, what I liked to do, real predator type shit. I said he was making me uncomfortable, but the mom said he was just teasing me. It seriously creeped me out. I ended up calling my mom to come get me so I wouldn't have to sleep there.
Good.
Seriously. Like, if you're having a sleepover with your daughter and don't have male friends over.
No. And if they say something to you, then you get rid of them.
Absolutely. You choose the children over a creepy dude. Oh my God, I hate people.
I know.
Not you guys. I love you guys.
As long as you're not like that.
Yeah. If you do shit like this, you suck, so stop listening. Okay, next one. In Miami at about 2 a.m., walking back to the hotel, I spot a homeless woman holding a pair of scissors and cutting the hair of a small plastic toy doll, like a Barbie but bigger. She was singing some kind of lullaby, completely entranced by this doll, when she started laughing and cutting the doll's head off.
Oh, well.
She had this kind of shrieking laughter mixed with crying, something out of a horror movie. Then she looked up and stared me straight in the eye. Her hands were still cutting this doll's head off. I was freaked the fuck out. If it wasn't for the alcohol in me, I probably would have peed myself. Oh my gosh.
That reminds me, did I ever tell you the story? Me and Amy and her daughter, I can't remember if anyone else was with us or not, but I think we were out shopping or something, and we stopped at a restaurant. I can't remember. It was like a Denny's or, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Well, we were sitting there and waiting for the waitress to come over and take our orders, and I look over and there's this woman with her baby.
Okay.
And I just glanced over. Mm-hmm. I sat there for a minute and I was thinking, that didn't look right. So I look over again and I'm trying not to stare,
Yeah.
but I kept looking over there because it didn't look right. Okay. I realized that she's holding a doll.
I think you did tell me.
Yes. She is treating this doll like it's a real baby.
Oh my God.
And I look at Amy, I was like, do you see that? And she's like, yes, I do.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, I don't know.
Oh no.
But it was, the waitress would go up and she would talk to her, and she seemed like she was fine.
Yeah.
But she was this was her baby.
Oh my God.
And it was so sad.
Yeah.
It was so sad.
I think you did tell me about that. That is sad.
It is. Because, what happened?
Exactly.
What happened?
Something
for her
happened.
to do that.
Something happened.
Whether she's just, has some kind of mental issues, or
she can't have children.
Or she can't have children, or she had a child and
my
it
God,
died,
that
just,
breaks my heart.
What happened?
Exactly.
It was so weird. It was so weird.
That's sad. That breaks my heart for her, because you're right. What did happen? Mm-hmm. Something happened.
Yep.
Aw. Okay. When I was in middle school, my friends and I were really into Dance Revolution, which that's that game, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So we'd go to the arcade 2 or 3 times a week. This creepy, dirty-looking guy in a leather jacket started talking to some of us and asked us about the game and whatnot, and we would see him in the arcade a lot. He told us to call him Crow, although no one even wanted to talk to him, so we christened him as Creepy Crow. He somehow learned all of our names and repeatedly tried to hang out with us, despite the fact that he was probably in his mid to late 30s. This went on for probably about a month. We eventually heard that he was banned from the place for exposing himself to some younger kids on the mini golf course.
That's great.
Ugh. What is wrong with people?
I don't know.
Gross. Okay, next one. When I was 12, my mom took me to San Francisco for the day. We were on some sort of pier, and my mom left me alone while she went to the bathroom. A homeless man who looked exactly like the Gordon's fisherman walked up to me with a bottle in his hand. He gruffly grumbled, "Hey, you're a little one for me, but you'll do."
Okay, first of all, she would be going to the bathroom with me.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No.
No way.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Even if it was a boy, they'd be going to the bathroom with me.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You stand right there. I gotta pee.
Yeah.
But you're not leaving that spot.
Well, I've got a 14-year-old son, but he's autistic. Mm-hmm. Well, Aaron will just let him go to the bathroom by himself. And one thing about my son is he is overly nice.
Yes.
He
He will talk
tries
to anyone.
he tries way too hard for approval from anybody. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah.
He will talk, just like we went to a concert this past summer, and I went to the bathroom with Tyrion, and I stupidly trusted Aaron to stand outside with Joel and wait for us. Well, I come out, and Joel is nowhere to be seen. And Aaron said that he asked some dude to hold our stuff while he went to the bathroom because he had to go, and Aaron didn't care if he had to go or not. He just went and said, "Hey, Joel, stay here."
Oh, that's great.
I was so fucking mad. Because Joel, he's like, "Hey, will you hold my stuff while I go to the bathroom?"
Oh my God.
Who knows? I think the guy worked there. But I don't know.
Oh, Joel.
I know. You can't, and you know, as much as I want to deny it, he's got autism.
Yeah.
Aaron, you cannot do that. Oh my God. Don't even get me started.
Well, you know, and that's not even, that's, from my experience, that's every father.
It is.
They'll be fine.
And that,
they don't think the same way that mothers do.
Exactly. But you know, my situation brings that over to the freaking top because he's got autism.
Yeah, it's even worse.
Exactly.
It's
you
even
cannot think, oh, he'll be fine, because he fucking won't. And you know, anything could happen. Anything. If he goes out to the mailbox.
I'm saying, he doesn't. Fathers do not think the same way that mothers do.
Well, they need to quit being
Mothers
fucking
have
stupid.
this like inborn thing where they think of what could happen.
Yeah.
And it drives me crazy.
Yes.
But I would much rather be that way than something happen to my child.
And feel guilty for the rest of your life. Yes. Yeah.
And okay, yes, I'm a little bit overprotective. I will admit it.
I am
but
too.
But I don't give a shit.
It's the only kids we're gonna have.
Yes.
We can't replace them.
I only have
they're
one.
fucking awesome.
I have one. And I don't want anything. Of course, now it's a little bit easier on me. He's like over 6 feet tall, and
yeah, but still,
his brain is still a child.
Exactly,
he's still a child.
Exactly. Oh my God.
And I don't think that mothers ever stop worrying.
No,
ever.
I don't think so. Which sucks. A guy I briefly dated in high school. At first I thought he was awkward and charming, but then I visited his bedroom where there were pictures of me sleeping attached to his ceiling.
What?
Oh my God, what'd you do?
What?
Oh my God. That's creepy.
That's beyond creepy.
Okay. Anyway. Okay, this is my last one. I knew a guy named Mike who ran a coffee house. It was a pretty hip place, kind of beatnik, live music, poetry readings, open mic nights. But something about him was a little bit off. He stared at you too long when making eye contact. Girls hated him and were completely creeped out by him. He had long hair and a beard, drove a van. Just kind of generally creepy. His favorite jokes were of the "what you doing later, Mike?" cutting up hookers and shoving them into dumpsters vein of humor.
That's not humorous.
No, that's not funny at all. After about a year, he sold the coffee house to a friend, and I ended up managing it. Business picked up pretty quick after word got out that Mike wasn't around anymore. The place was really starting to turn a profit. Everything was going great. He then started hanging out every now and then and being extra creepy, leering at teenage girls, and just kind of being generally inappropriate. I asked him not to come back, and it got kind of ugly. Fast forward about 4 years, and I'm sitting on my couch watching TV. The local news comes on, and his face pops up on the screen. He had been arrested for raping and torturing 3 separate women.
Oh, that's lovely.
He was found behind a shopping center with a woman shackled in the back of his van, and he had been driving around all night tasering and raping her. He currently is serving 3 consecutive life sentences.
Good
Thank
fucker.
God.
That's why
Oh my
you
God.
always trust your gut.
Absolutely.
Always trust your gut.
Absolutely.
If you think someone is creepy, then don't be around them.
Exactly. That reminds me, I don't know if I've ever told you this before, but we went to, I think we were like at Walmart, and I passed this aisle, and there was this kid. He looked to be like maybe 13, 14-year-old kid looking at something. And I just got the creepiest, like, panicky feeling when I looked at him.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, you know, just looking at him, he's just like a kid looking at something. But my inner body freaked out a little. It was weird. So I just, like, stayed away from him. But I wonder.
I don't think that's ever happened to me before. I don't think.
But I mean, like I said, he just looked like a normal kid. I wonder why my body reacted like that. It was weird.
It is weird.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, those were my stories.
All right. It is time for the witty wrap-up.
Yay, witty wrap-up.
And since I think this is going to come out on Christmas Day, right?
It is, yes.
So, I've got funny Christmas stories.
Ew, the cat farted again. Okay. That is going directly towards me. I don't appreciate that at all.
All right. Did I say this was funny Christmas stories?
I don't know.
Oh, well, it is.
Okay.
Okay. This one's called Like Father, Like Son. One evening, I arrived home from work to find the lights out. My wife had prepared a lovely candlelit dinner, and our two young sons, Garrett and Selden, were dressed in their suits. Hey, I joked, didn't we pay our electric bill? A few months later, during the Christmas Eve candlelit procession, the church was packed and silent, and Garrett said, Hey, Dad, did they not pay their electric bill too?
Oh my gosh, that reminds me. When we lived in that house, for some reason, I mean, you know, we're always talking about money because we always need it. We never have it. And I don't remember if it was Tyron or Joel, but one of them made a sign and put it on the mailbox that said, we need money.
Oh my God.
Please leave money. We were like, oh my fucking God, get that out of there. Like, yes, we need money, but so does everyone else in the world. Jesus.
Oh my gosh, I would have been so embarrassed. You know, that's one of the things that I'm so glad about is that Peyton has never embarrassed me like that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're lucky. Oh man. Yeah, that's not fun.
All right, this one's called Meeting Santa Claus. My husband took our two sons, 6-year-old Devin and 4-year-old Chase, to a party where Santa would be handing out gifts. The instructions from the organizers were to bring our own gifts, so I brought beach towels with the kids' names printed on them. Upon arriving, Devin said he couldn't believe the skinny Santa was actually Santa. His doubt turned to belief when he opened his gift. He has to be the real Santa, he said. How else would he know my name?
Aw, how cute.
That reminds me of a story. I was younger, and this was when we lived in Danville.
Oh, okay.
And I was just on that edge where I was like starting to not believe in Santa.
Right.
And I must have told Mommy that or something. And you know how every Christmas Eve we were forced to go to midnight mass.
Yes, raised Catholic.
I fucking hated it.
Yes.
So before we left, you know, the fireplace was all closed like normal.
Yeah.
When we get back, the fireplace door is open. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Santa's real. Look, he left the door open.
That's so great.
And Mommy's like, yeah.
Oh, that's great. I wonder when they did that. You know,
I don't know.
They used to do stuff like that all the time.
I
I
know.
remember one time, I think I was around the time where I was like, is this all crap? You know? And it was Easter. And I don't remember what I was doing, but somehow I think Mommy was like, I think the Easter Bunny's outside. And I was looking out the window and I just heard someone go, I told it was totally Daddy. But you know, he was pretending to be the Easter Bunny. So I didn't know the Easter Bunny sounded like that. He does. He's like, it was hilarious. No, kitty. Get down.
That's great.
Yeah, so I was like, and then speaking of family stories, our cousin DJ, he does. I used to love Donald Duck. Or no, yeah, Donald Duck.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. I used to collect Donald Duck everything. And I think I was like 16 years old. So I was, older. I was in high school. And Mommy was talking to Aunt Denise on the phone, and she was like, I think someone wants to talk to you, Brandy. And I get on the phone, and it's freaking DJ talking like Donald Duck. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? So I kind of was just like, okay, bye. I'm like, dude, that would have been funny if you were like 10. I know. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, why didn't you do this 6 years ago? I would have loved it. I'm fucking 16 now, and I know it's you. Oh, shit. That was creepy. That just fell for no reason.
It doesn't sit up very well on this coffee table. Okay. All right. My next one is called A Child's Retort. Some of my favorite childhood memories involve our family's annual trip to the local Christmas tree farm. Although we have an artificial tree at our house, my children are still able to partake in the tradition of accompanying my parents when they cut down their tree. When I announced we would be helping them pick a tree the following weekend, I expected Ethan, my 6-year-old, to be excited about the outing. Instead, he furrowed his brow, puzzled, and asked, what did they do with the one we got them last year?
You mean we have to do it every year? That's what I say when I have to freaking buy presents.
Oh, gosh.
What, this again?
Yeah. Did
Really?
I just do this?
Yeah.
Traffic jam in the sky. On a flight to Mexico... Oh, that scared the shit out of me.
What?
No.
Oh my God, Santa's... It's so creepy.
I just didn't expect it. Anyway, on a flight to Mexico for Christmas vacation, I watched my 4-year-old son Max stare intently out the airplane window. We had just taken off and were passing through some big white clouds. Max looked concerned, and I wondered what he might be thinking about. Suddenly, his eyes lit up and a big smile came across his face. He announced loudly, Mom, I know why we're not getting anywhere. We're stuck in all this snow. Snow in the sky.
No, that's sweet.
The meaning of Christmas. Sorting out how Santa fits in with the religious meaning of Christmas can be confusing for kids. This was evidenced by my 2-year-old daughter, Josie, as she pretended to read from a book. Then Santa forgave them all their trespasses. I guess that's from the Bible. I don't know.
Yes. As we forgive those who trespass against us.
Yeah, okay. A wish come true. My mom is a bit of a pack rat. Recently, she went digging under her stairs for some holiday decorations and came across a birthday card I had sent her 30 years earlier. She called me to say my wish for her had come true. What wish? I asked. You wished me a happy 30th birthday, Mom replied, and hoped I'd live for another 30 years. And I did. Stocking stuffers. One Christmas, my husband put an assortment of beauty products in my stocking. I tried one of the facial masks and was about to wash it off when my 8-year-old son, Callum, walked in. I explained to him that it was a present from his dad and it would make me beautiful. He patiently waited by my side as I rinsed and patted my face dry. Well, what do you think? I asked. Oh, Mom, it didn't work, Callum replied. What every mom wants to hear.
That reminds me of the story I just told you about Joel. Because it runs in our family. My hair is very thin. Mm-hmm. And he was like, so what are you going to do about that? I'm like, oh my God, I don't fucking know.
From the mouths of babes.
I mean, what do you say?
Well, I mean, I think this is just the way Peyton is. I don't really think it has anything to do with, him being a kid.
Yeah.
If I ask him how something looks, he'll tell me.
Absolutely. Yeah. He
that looks stupid.
Yeah.
Well, fine. He'll be like, those shoes are ugly. Well, I like them. Shut
says that to me. He's like, what the fuck are you wearing? I'm like, but I like it.
Misheard lyrics. When my niece was a student, her class of 6-year-olds sang Hark the Herald Angels Sing at a Christmas concert. The line, God and sinners reconciled, was a tricky one for this age group. One little boy, with a voice that completely drowned out the rest of the choir, happily belted out, God and sinners dressed in style.
That reminds me, I think I told you on last week's episode, I went to Tieran's choir performance. Every year, it's the choir, and then the second grade puts on a little choir performance, or like they sing a few Christmas songs. And these kids, they're probably like 7 years old, so they're babies.
Yeah.
And it is the most entertaining, 20 minutes of my life every year, and this was the last year I got to go.
Aww.
But these kids, it is non-stop movement. They're always moving. There's always at least 2 girls with their dresses over their head. It is just the funniest thing. I just love it so much every year. Kids are awesome.
All right, this one's called Lost in Translation. On a drive home from visiting family over the holidays, my children and I stopped off at a corner store. The cashier turned to my 4-year-old daughter and asked, "Was Santa good to you?" My 5-year-old son, not used to the Ottawa Valley accent, piped up, "Her name's not Tia."
That's funny.
Honesty is the best policy. My 9-year-old son, Gabriel, had heard some rumors at school that Santa wasn't real. He approached me with a big question. "Dad, tell me the truth. Is Santa real?"
Oh.
I decided to tell him it was us who had bought him his latest Nintendo Wii game. "Really?" he said. "You should have let Santa bring it. That way it would have been free."
Oh my gosh, I wish. Oh my God. What a smart kid.
Totally just went over his head. Totally.
But again, a little smart, because that's, be like, why'd you pay for it? What are you, stupid? Why didn't you?
I'm trying to tell you that Santa's not real. That we bought it.
Was that it?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you again so much for listening, you guys. We really did miss you last week, and we will hopefully prevent that in the future. So keep listening and tell your friends. If I encountered someone who didn't know what a podcast was this week, so if they don't know, let them know, because
I've encountered a lot of people that don't know what a podcast.
Yeah, so they might not know. So spread the word and send in your stories. We want to hear them. We want to fill our episodes with you guys' stories. Any story, GhoulsNightOutPodcast@gmail.com. And have a very Merry Christmas. And we will talk to you here in a couple days, probably.
Later.
Bye.